Greetings, fellow farmers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Farthest Frontier 1.0. Episode 8, Sowing Flax to Prep Grain. So I have most of the map searched, and I'm just hoping to get the top left corner surveyed. There's obviously a raider camp here, so let's explore it enough so the raider camp icon is on the map, so that I know to avoid it. Because I can see that being an issue. There we go. And a wolf den.
As you command. As you command.
Oh, 2 wolf dens.
As you command. As you command. Right away.
Okay, trade opportunities. If I wanted to buy more herbs, which I probably do, because I don't really have the capacity to harvest them, let's transfer gold into the shop and sell them herbs. And then I think what I'm going to do, as crazy as it sounds, is transfer some of the swords. Because we can get 77 gold per pop per sword. That sounds real good to me. The things he's selling, none of them are shields. He is selling a relic of Hunter Cabins Yield More Meat, which would be a really nice one to get. But I can't afford it, nor do I have a temple at the moment.
As you command.
You can see how some of them are, like, incredible. Like, 30% more meat per hunting cabin. Like, that's awesome. Oh.
At once.
Walk straight into the wolf den. There's a lot of wolves up here, huh?
At once.
It's wolf country.
Right away.
I should name the foot soldier group to, like, the wolf slayers. There we go. That's a lot of gold. And then I don't want 242 herbs, so let's go for like 128 transfer. And then the rest will just be loose gold that we can use. What is the advantage of the upgraded well? You draw water from it faster. It is more desirable to be around. It has higher durability. It has a higher capacity. It actually tells you all this stuff. So if you take a look at the well itself, upgrade bonus, increased water capacity, quicker water accumulation, increased desirability, increased durability. It's all in the UIs. You can see what they do when you upgrade. But people like to be around nice stonework wells. So I don't at the moment have a spare iron, but when I do, we can improve the wells around our center homes. So speaking of iron, looks like coal production isn't keeping up. So let's try to ramp coal up a little bit and see if that helps with our iron production. Making sure that we have enough iron for tools. Because I don't have any heavy tools, and I'm kind of worried that if we don't end up with a surplus of iron, we're going to end up in that pitfall of using up all of our heavy tools and not having any replacements. Alright, I would say we've surveyed the map. Pretty much everywhere we needed to. And we did flatten out again. So, Academy? Yes? No. You shall be flat. Yay! It's the one that possibly sells hauberks. So she sells hauberks. She's not selling a shield right now. So what I'm going to do is request shields for next season. So if I mouse all the way down to the sheet. Oh yeah, here it is. Request the item to be bought by the next merchant at premium prices. So basically, the next time a merchant comes to visit us, they will sell us like a shield at high price. very, very, very exorbitantly high price. But, like, it's maybe the only way for me to easily get one. And then I'm transferring in a bunch more gold into the trade post so I can buy hauberks, so that my soldiers, the ones that, you know, use swords, can also protect themselves. I am already getting bean infest. So beans and peas. So I think this bean cycle is going to be a problem if we're growing peas. Alternatively, what we could do is grow flax, maybe. I'll take a look at it in just a moment when I'm not juggling other tasks. Hey, Mindsteddle, thank you for the resub. All of those years. Cheers. It's been a long time. So if we did grow flax, one of the reasons not to grow flax is it's not the right soil mixture. But even if we have a lower yield, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. So let's start growing flax on the original farms. Building up a supply of flax, meaning I will allow the beans to be grown this year, but then I'll switch it off because they're getting diseased and it's going to be a problem if I don't handle that. So I bought 2 hauberks. Because I intend to have at least 2 light infantry in the near future, but as you can see, Alfar is now wearing the hauberk, which is a much tougher armor, so that when he has to fight against raiders, he can tank. Alright. Come on, Academy. Be flat enough. Maybe I'll do one more flattened cycle, and if it still doesn't work, I'll give up on the idea. So it still says too steep. So this is the last attempt to flatten it out. Also seems to me like I need another Fletcher, because we ran low on arrows. Adding 2 more hunter cabins and then not ramping up the amount of Fletchers I had was the problem. It looks to me like we still don't have a surplus of coal or iron, so let's go ahead and add 1 more coal miner and another iron miner. I didn't realize I only had 1 iron miner. The problem is I'm drawing from our laborer pool, so it's a little tricky to, you know, balance these things, but let's hope it's a little bit better balanced now. So one of the reasons to start growing flax early is in order to mill grain, you need flax for the building. So here is in the windmill, and as you can see, the windmill requires 250 flax to be built. So it helps to grow flax before you start to grow grains, because otherwise you're not going to be able to mill your own grains, and raw wheat is useless to eat, right? It's inedible. So the flax we transition to will possibly solve the disease problem that we have, and then also allow us to transition to grains. So 2 for 1. The one thing I haven't done yet is to try to get my desirability up into the 30% range. As you can see, a lot of these houses have 2 types of food, herbs. It has basically everything it needs other than desirability in order to improve. Grains will help solve that. Again, speaking of grains, because bakeries are nice to live around. So we'll make sure to put our bakery near our population center for that reason. Alright, our foundry is saying it doesn't have enough iron ore or coal. I just added another iron miner and coal miner, so hopefully it will catch up. And we'll take new measurements in a bit. The other thing I might do, because I am going to furlough all the blacksmiths in order to build up a supply of like 15 iron so that we can start to make heavy tools. Because it's such an expensive problem to not have supplied heavy tools, because heavy tools are purchased at like 400 a pop. So it would, for me to replace the heavy tools in these 2 industries would cost me all of my gold. And I don't want that to happen. Right, once the beans are done, stick flax in there. So after next year's cycle... Oh, you know what? The other issue is we have a bean disease. So beans here is a problem. So I think what I'll do is I will temporarily do a double clover. Meaning that this crop field doesn't yield food next year, just to get rid of the crop disease. Because growing beans would be a bad idea, because we're just like feeding the bean disease. I don't want that. Oh my god, it's still too steep? You're killing me, game. I'm stubborn. I'm going to keep trying to flatten it. There is no advantage for it to be up there. I'm just stubborn and I want it there. And the game's like, no. So the academy, unlike the school, has no desirability bonus. The school, of course, is nice to live around, but the academy is neutral. So there's no need to put the academy, you know, near your pop centers. Except for transit time from people's homes to the academy to work there. Do crops need pop when they're ready? Oh, so the way this works is the crop field here has a certain level of infestation, and it will drop gradually over time, provided you're not planting the thing that it infests. So as long as we're not planting buckwheat, bean, and peas in the field, this field will recover. The other thing that I could do is switch up the cycles. So I could put the, like next year, plant cabbage, and then switch the cabbage from here to here. So this one will be peas and flax. And then down here will be clover and, oops. Hang on, I'm getting mixed up. So it's normally peas, clover, work. Okay. So then here will be peas, clover, work. So peas, clover, work at the top. Oh, no, I did that wrong. Very wrong. So this is flax at top. This is flax middle, so flax bottom here. Okay. Peas, clover, work top. Okay, so the... Oh, I'm clicking everything wrong. Sorry about this. I wish these were a little easier. So, Next year, we need this to have the clover cabbage cycle to get rid of the disease. So the clover cabbage cycle in this farm needs to be the bottom or the top, either one. And then this was at the top. Okay. I fixed it. It just took a bit of wonkiness. No, it's not fixed, because this has flax top, flax middle, flax middle. So this should be flax bottom. Basically, I want all three of these farms on offset years, and I wish I could just like drag these bars around, so to move year 2 to year 3, that would like be a lifesaver. Unfortunately, that's just not the way the game works, so. This is supposed to be peas clover work, I think. Yeah. Alright, there we go, finally. So now we have, it took a while, but now we have cabbage next year, which then will help filter out the stem rot. And all of the fields are offset in the same way. Wow, that was way extra complicated than it needed to be, but at least it's now correct. And yeah, the farmers go to all fields. So one thing that's important is to cluster your farms together. Because if you have farms like here and here, all of your farms will go here and then have to commute over here. It sucks. It's actually like a bit of a problem, if anything. So putting all your farms in one spot allows the commute time for your farmers to not be like cripplingly bad. So just keep that in mind as well. I failed to mention that last stream, but it really is a really big deal. So our laborers and builders look pretty good. We are not really doing much salvaging at the moment. That's okay. And then hopefully, we have all the stone we need for the academy, so hopefully flattening this out will allow me to build an academy there. But if we can't, I'll just put it somewhere else. Ooh, you know what? Another thing I just realized I need is maybe a storage depot here. Because we are producing ingots and tools and stuff like that. But I have nowhere to store it near this spot. A storage depot site is smaller than a full storage storehouse. But I don't need a full storehouse because it's only going to be for like heavy tools, swords, you know, the metalworking stuff. So I don't need to have like a massive storehouse for that. But getting that built will be useful as well. And I did queue up the well in the center of town to be upgraded to a tier 2. Which, of course, does use up some of the iron that we were going to save up for heavy tools, but I think I can afford that for now. Come on! Workers, flatten it! I mean, that looks flat enough to me. Everything else on this hill got built. Y'all just want a super flat surface for the academy. The problem is the amount that they flatten per flatten cycle is, like, terrible. But this is indeed the hill I'm going to die on, so... So, iron ore is lagging behind coal. We'll keep adding iron miners until it's about equal production. It's 4 and 4 now. Soon, I'll have other things to do with the coal as well. Alright, so here we go. Usable items, we'll say tools, heavy tools, swords, halberds, shields, hauberks, plate, can be stored here. No food. Don't use barrels. Produce materials of iron ingots only, and no raw materials. So this depot is now set up for the mining village. So this is the season where we'll start to plant flax. And then as we amass flax, we can then invest it for our windmill for the grain. So that's coming. And here's the nicer well, and the well, with its boosted desirability, has raised the desirability around here to like 26%. So if I wanted to start to get, I could build a shrine. If I wanted to start to get homesteads, this shrine would have 5 houses land in the 30% higher or higher desirability zone. Maybe I'll put the shrine here. One of the other reasons to build a shrine is it satisfies the spirituality need. And then the other thing I can do is put a festival pole. And between the shrine and the festival pole, we should get a lot more homesteads, which is going to drive a lot more tax revenue. Don't produce tools, only produce heavy tools. You, I'm watching you. Only heavy tools. All right, come on. Come on, Emma. Flatten that out with your shovels. I don't know what I'm expecting here. I'm gonna give up in a minute. A claim to be defeated by Game Engine. It'd be nice if there was a... Oh, there we go. A merchant arrived with shields. It'd be nice if there was like a flatten enough to be able to build this thing. So here we go. We've got shields being sold at 97 a pop. I'm going to buy 2 of them. There goes all the money I was hoping to save up for our academy. So I'll try to sell some stuff I don't need to pay for it, but I'd rather have the shields so that we, you know, don't die. Dying is kind of more important. Oh, seriously, lady. Oh, hey, yeah, we can build it. All right, I'm not gonna enable building it though, not yet, because I don't have enough gold in our coffers for it. $4.91. Okay. What else can I sell? I will sell all my baskets. Hopefully the next trader that comes in wants to buy something that we have like an abundance of. But this icon up here is like, hey, the thing that you requested has arrived, telling you check out the trade. All right, good enough. Don't worry about that last one. And that means the Academy build site is all set to go. Also taking a look at my resources. I have 244 wood planks, so I'm going to reduce the amount of people working in the saw pit. I'm also going to move the saw pit to here. With that in mind, I'm going to move my stockhouse to here. Build a road like that. And a road like this. So the reason for moving this stuff around, the big reason, is the desirability, the negative desirability of these industries are starting to bleed over to my village that I'm trying to make desirable finally because we're trying to get homesteads. So I need to move that stuff so it's not ugly. And that means nudging things around a bit. So, let's move the ugly industries further away from my homes now. I'm actually going to move the smokehouse up here where we do most of the hunting. And come on, second trader, buy stuff I have. Selling sand would be weird. Maybe I'll sell hide coats. Putting the saw pit next to the orchard will increase the yields by scaring the trees. Exactly. That was exactly my thought. Also, what the hell happened to all my wood planks? It literally disappeared overnight. Guys? You keystering a whole bunch of wood planks? Ooh. Education, still 42%. Hasn't really gone up much. There we go. Now we have some money in the coffers again. So here is the flax fiber. The estimated yield is going to be enough for a mill, which is great. So next year we'll be milling. Seriously, what happened to all the wood planks? I had 244 of them. They didn't disappear. Maybe they're in the... Were they in the stockyard? I'm going to prioritize moving the stockyard to see if they, like, magically come back, because that's just... Plus, all my stone disappeared, too. Yeah, okay. They were in a stockyard that was being moved, which is why I lost access to it. That makes a lot more sense. So if we take a look at the desirability, it's a lot more desirable around here now because I moved the ugly stuff away. And put it farm adjacent. Oh, there we go! So now that we have an academy, I'm just going to fill it up. I don't even really care about my labor pool. Apparently, I don't have someone... Oh, no, apparently we do. Never mind, I take it back. So, our knowledge gain rate is going to skyrocket as a result of having the Academy. And Grand Void, thank you for the resub. And then one of the other things that you could do to pair with that is the paper mill. So, we're about to get our first harvest of flax. So I'm not going to build the paper mill right now because I want that flax to be used for the windmill. But next year at some point, once we have the windmill built, we can set up a paper mill. And to increase the rate at which we gain new knowledge with paper production as well. So we want a... I called it a paper press, that was wrong. Build. Sow grain fields and build a paper mill. Joker, thank you for the cheer. There we go, knowledge generated, and this will start generating a lot faster. Taking a look at all of my tech, we have 22 invested, so 2 more tech and I get access to the next tier. I'm going to invest in treadwheel crane because that is a prerequisite to get quarries and deep mines. So the treadwheel crane increases the rate at which we mine by 15%. And I was having a supply issue with my, with my ores, so that should remediate it a bit. Radlocker, thank you for the cheer as well. We are 1 stone away from having a shrine site, and then I'll probably make a maypole as well for entertainment. Plop that right there. And then see what kind of levels of desirability we've got once those 2 things are built. Hopefully driving up homesteads. So the next, after we get the grain fields, the next big thing is to try to get a population of 150 and homesteads of 20 so that we can upgrade our town hall. But let's go ahead and start to plow new fields. How'd I get my heavy tools? I think I salvaged for it. From salvage sites. Or you can trade for it. Both approaches work. Knowledge already generated. Thank you, Academy. So, with the new knowledge... Animal husbandry? Confirm. And now we have access to really cool things like brewing beer or barrel making cooperage barrels. That cooperage barrel is probably going to be my next one. We also have scientific discovery, which might actually be the better next one. I'll ask you, what research to get next? So we have science discovery, cooperage, brewing. Brewing obviously is going to be useful once we have like wheat fields, but we could do that now. We could also get production management. Or metallurgy. So production management is any production facility that uses heavy tools produces stuff 10% faster, which is kind of nice because that applies to a bunch of different industries. And the metallurgy is a prerequisite for quarry and deep mines, but it also gives you more iron or less work to produce iron. So basically you produce iron faster. Another one is glass blowing. Glass blowing is the prerequisite for canning, where you can can fruits and veggies for preservation. But glass blowing, essentially turns coal and sand into glass. So you guys can choose between these options. Polls right there. I'll give you 2.5 minutes to vote on that. So you're asking if they've produced cheap tools? So our forge worker has made heavy tools. So I have a spare heavy tool in my inventory as a result. So it worked properly. They're doing what they should be doing, in other words. Knowing that I'm about to build 3 more farms, I'm going to want more farmhands. So I'm going to expand our houses. Oh, and these are shelters becoming homesteads, meaning our desirability is already in the 30 range, and that's without the maypole. So at the moment, as you can see, because of spirituality, my gold income is -3, but that will change to the positive as soon as these homesteads are upgraded. Yeah, we have a severe labor shortage because of all the industries I just spun up. So here's a homestead, and homesteads produce more income. So as you can see, my taxes on homesteads are separate from the market. So there's a homestead tax for having nicer homes, and it's going to drive up my tax so that I can afford more troops or more services, etc., etc. And I built all these new homes. One, because the town center upgrades at a pop of 150. So having homes that can accommodate up to 150 is going to be important. And two, you know, with the new farm fields, we're going to have more need for labor, for workers. All right, looks like you guys want me to do a lot of science discovery. Cool. So the next 2 points I'll invest in science discovery so the academy works faster, and then I'll change it up. But here we go. With the maypole and the shrine, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 houses ready to become homesteads. And the requirement for this, of course, is that they need at least a candle or pottery. So I'm going to need to make sure to be providing that, which I don't think I'm not making candles yet, am I? So let's start making candles or pottery, and I think I'm gonna do candles because I have lots of wax from all my apiaries. So we'll set up a candle shop and plop it up it here. And I already have all the materials for that, so that should get built pretty quick. So let's see. I've got 119 wax, and it's wax plus firewood equals candles. So, we have plenty for candles. So they want 2 types of food, which I am about to spin up bread making as well. 2 types of food. They want candles or pottery. And candles is easier because pottery requires clay, and clay turns into clay bricks. So if you do pottery, you compete with bricks, even though there's more money to be had in pottery, I think. All right, science discovery. Boom. All right, after the next point in science discovery, what do you want thereafter? So cooperage, brewing, production management, metallurgy, glass blowing. That will be up to you. Has anyone been trying to salvage the sites? Salvage progress 0. I'm gonna guess no. There we go. Tax going up, up, up. That's what I like to see. So our homestead count now is 8. And if I built something pretty down here, I would raise the desirability in the southwest side of town, allowing even more homesteads, which I'll do once we have a little bit more gold. Builder shortage, yeah, I don't care. I have a people shortage. Thank you for tuning in to Farthest Frontier 1.0, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow settlers.